You are now listening to the highlight reel builder for authors, the Going North podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer and author of the best-selling book, Stay the Course, Dom Brightman. And you're going to be getting some goodies today from the guest that's up next. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, we're back at you again on the Going North podcast with a super special, awesome human. And it's been a long time, folks. It's been a long time coming because we haven't had a spoken word artist on this podcast, I believe, since, 2020 fall. My man Mike Gregory's return. But we got another special spoken word artist, the very first for this show, folks. Not only is she a spoken word poet, she is the first. That's right, folks. The first African American Poet Laureate for the Prince William County, Virginia for the years 2020 through 2022. So she's current, y'all. An award-winning spoken word poet. She's a decorated champion, y'all. The 2019 Southern Fried Poetry Haiku champion, as well as the 2018 Black Poetry Cafe Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is Slam champion, and a boatload of other wonderful trophies. And what makes it even better and not but is the fact that she gives back because she likes to mentor students and poets on writing and performing poetry because she believes building young minds is accomplishing great things and she wants them to accomplish great things. So let's give it up for the one, the only KBM herself, Miss Kim B. Miller. How you doing today, Kim?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great with all the R's.
Yes.
Enough to make Tony happy.
Yes, indeed.
All right, I got my first yes indeed out of you. This is good. The mind control's working. All right. I'm just messing with you. I almost forgot to mention that you're part of the DMV, so it's almost like a Charm City bonus episode that you're out in the wonderful state of Virginia.
Yes, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I currently reside in Virginia.
All righty, Brooklyn. That's right. Queensbridge, baby. That's right.
All right.
That's right. That's right. If you don't buy thousands of copies of this book, you're going to be in trouble, y'all. That's right. All of her books, y'all. Buy like 50 copies of each, baby. That's right.
Yes.
But hey. But hey, it's more than books. So, man, filling in any gaps I missed about you, Kim, because I'm pretty sure I forgot a whole bunch of stuff.
No problem. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I'm married, have 4 children, 2 from the heart, 2 from the stomach. I know poets can't say anything simple. 2 that I pushed out the old-fashioned way, and 2 through marriage. And let's see what else. I think you covered a lot of it. Spoken word poet, motivational speaker. I facilitate also. You name it, I do it. I'm an author, as you said. So yeah, you covered a lot.
That's right. Black woman business owner, entrepreneur swag too. Your own t-shirt business too, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It goes beyond the books and the spoken word, y'all. She's a business woman, baby. That's right. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, not left indeed. My goodness. So what brought you all the way down further south below the Mason-Dixon line?
Well, me and my BFF always lived near each other. And she moved to Virginia, and I was like, oh, we're moving to Virginia, aren't we? She's like, well, I think you should come down here and see how it is. I'm like, I'm not coming down there. Because if I come down, I know I'm going to move. I'm not coming. So for a while, I didn't. I didn't. And then I finally came down, I'm like, wow, it's so nice here. So here I am.
So the mind control even happened back then too, huh?
Exactly. She's got that key. She does.
There we go. She got the magical keys and deal.
Exactly. She knows the code.
That's right. She cracked that whole code, baby. She didn't even need a controller.
Basically, yeah.
Well, Well, that's freaking awesome. Well,
Mhm.
welcome to Below the Mason Magical Dixon line. So,
Thank
how
you, thank
was
you,
it?
thank you.
So, how was it with the change of pace? Because I know it was probably a
Woo!
big culture shock.
Yes, yes. The biggest change in pace was the driving. Oh my goodness. They say, okay, New Yorkers do drive aggressively. We we okay, I'll give you that. But we drive.
Well,
Just saying.
okay.
Shots
Uh,
fired. Just saying. But outside of that, yeah, it was a different, mindset. It's a lot slower, but it was still, New York will always be home.
that's right. At home with the homies. That's what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Even though the top homie went to Virginia.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. But hey, with the wonderful change of pace, even though the driving situation is worse because of all the DC nonsense, I'm pretty sure that made you gave you more time to really work on your craft. So what's probably been the greatest gift outside of being close to your BFF that you gained from your magical move?
Definitely, it's a different poetry community down here. There was definitely one in New York, but I didn't really pursue it too much in New York. So this is really my first deep dive into poetry in the area. And since it's a tri-state area, like I said, DMV, I got to meet poets from totally different states, a lot more. Not that New York doesn't have the DMV area, but it's not quite as compact as it is here. So I think I got to reach more people here. Not that I wouldn't have in New York, but it's just a different atmosphere.
Oh yeah, yes indeed, yes indeed. And it kind of makes sense too, because I mean, with having to drive to more locations and probably not as many people. Like I'm sure the even though the driving situation is worse with the intelligence up in the head with the driving, it's probably more chance to connect with more people and probably rise through the ranks to where you became the poet laureate. So how did that happen? Was that through the networking?
No, no, that's the good old fashioned prayer. And so basically, the Prince William County process is different. Each county or state or whatever does it different. But here, there was, I think, a total of six nominees. And they take our poems, and our poems don't have any names on it. And they take the poems and send it to a group. And they basically read over the poems and decide which poems they like the best. And then they look at, I think, our projects that we suggested along with that. And based on who got the most votes, that's who becomes the poet laureate. And last year was me.
Woo. That's right, the decorated champion, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The black girl magic strikes again, baby. That's right. That's right. She don't need no wand. She needs a pen. That's right.
I like that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe some of the wonderful word magic that you've attained is in the family because I believe your father was a colonel in the U.S. Air Force, right?
Good memory. Retired Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force.
There we go. There we go. That's right. I have to protect the little one. Make sure she grows up to be a champ. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And Mama's a retired LPN.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So good service is in the family. That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about
Yes,
indeed.
indeed.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, since you're such an accomplished poet and you love helping out the youth and giving back and being a mother and really a businesswoman, like how are you able to really find the time to balance all the stuff that you do and stay on top of it?
Calendar. Hello, Outlook. Um, yeah, definitely. My calendar is my best friend. It keeps me on point. I even have an app that actually talks to me. It talks my calendar appointments like 10 minutes beforehand. Hello, Kim. Your appointment. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I'm very calendar, and now trying to remember that all on your own and disappointment and you have this next and that. For those who can do it, I applaud you. For me, I use my calendar.
So no to-do list at all, just all on the calendar, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Funny enough, I actually noticed that a lot of elite performers usually live by their calendar. They prefer those over to-do lists any day because on the calendar, especially if you have all these apps and you're glued to your phone, it's like, oh, well, hey, you get the reminders, it's in front of you. You're always prepared.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So my goodness, so the calendar keeps you in line to not
Mm-hmm.
only stay organized and professional on top of your game, but also to seize future opportunities.
Absolutely.
Beautiful indeed. So what does Kim have planned for this new quarter coming in since we're in a new magical quarter for Q2?
Well, this is a beautiful month for poets because April is National Poetry Month. A lot of people don't know that. So this is a big month for us, and it's a lot of different programs. There's a lot of schools have programs, states have programs, counties, different locations. So it's a busy month for poetry, but it's a good month because it shows people how important poetry is. And a lot of people don't realize how many songs were actual poems too. So, don't cut us short. And a lot of people don't know that rap stands for rhythm and poetry, poetry to a beat, people. So, yeah, so learn something about poetry this month. Love on a poet.
There you go, folks. Love on a magical poet indeed. Heck, rhythm and poetry. I didn't even know that. The rap. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about. Yes, indeed. Because that's so darn true. And that's the true rap, especially from its roots and not the stuff that they try to make popular today.
Yeah, not the mumbling. Yeah, where you can actually hear the words. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably better if people just hum. They might also hum in church over trap beat instead.
Exactly. You may get more meaning out of it. No shots fired. I'm just speaking my.
Pew pew.
Just saying, it's possible.
But it's so darn true, though. It's so darn true. But hey, it's all about learning and growing and becoming better indeed. So, with teaching the youth, what's probably been the greatest lesson you learned from teaching the youth about poetry?
The amount of information that they absorb. For instance, I'll go to, let's say, elementary school. And it's like, oh, I'm here to help you with your poem because when I worked with DC Scores, they didn't have it this year because of COVID. You go in with different age groups, elementary up to high school, and they tell you their poem and you tell them better ways to say it because they have what they call a slam after with all the different schools. So you're going in to say, single digit, and you're thinking, well, she'll have a cute little poem on flowers and the beach or Fortnite. And she's talking about immigration and she's talking about who got shot. And, you know, they know what's going on in the world. And to hear a child express a poem like that is just, it just blows my mind. And to know that they're inundated with all of this information every day, that the same amount we adults are, and they're trying to process it the best way they can. So I think the most surprising thing was hearing a child talk about adult issues in a child way, but so well written in poems, so well written.
Hey, that's a solid lesson. It's so true. It actually is amazing how much information that the young kids take in these days, and heck, even with it's probably thanks to this wonderful technology that we have. It's good and it's bad. It's good for the advantages that it can give you, but it's bad because they feel like children are aging faster mentally and probably maybe even sometimes physically because of possibly the diet. So that's a whole other subject. And of course, getting all the stimulation from different areas and not having the time to really grow into it and allowing their brains to fully develop. It's going to be interesting to see how bright their minds are in the coming decades, if not decade right now, with all of this technology that they have had access to. Heck, even with last year's pandemic that we're still recovering from.
Exactly, because it's a lot. You know, they've been home, they've been away from their friends. And people are like, oh, so what? I'm like, come on now. Y'all wasn't stuck in the house for a year. You couldn't see your friends, or you had to have a mask, or you couldn't talk to your teacher in person, or it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is because even if you're still part of the lucky few groups that could really communicate online with their buddies, there's still that big group out there who still needed that connection. They still needed that human connection. Like it's even though cyber closeness is cool, like the physical distancing, that still makes it pretty difficult for folks.
Exactly. And the younger the child, the more difficult as far as
Mm.
the physical separation. Obviously, the high school kids are still having the same problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's more than weed, y'all. It's more than weed.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, my goodness. So, with all this wonderful poetry that you created and the lessons that you learned in helping others, what's probably been your biggest source of inspiration? Would you say it's your faith or something deeper?
Definitely my faith. I'm a Christian. Oh, don't worry. I'm not the crazy ones. I know that. Yeah, I know the difference. Okay, don't worry. I'm not. You're going to hell. I don't know where you're going because I'm trying to get in. So,
There you go.
I don't know how people from outside can tell you where you're going. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. So, just saying. So, yeah, definitely faith-based. I think a lot of my stuff is based on trying to get people to see things a different way, saying it in a way they're not maybe used to hearing it. And that gets people to think. And I think that's the beauty of poetry. You can just say something, put it out there, because people come, oh, I'm going to listen to some poetry. And then you can see them going, wait a minute. Oh, I never thought about it that way. Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
That's right. It's provocative, folks. She knows how to get the people going north, baby.
Exactly. That's my job.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. It's great that we have you doing that because a lot of people need that, especially now that we have so many things and so many other people trying to do the thinking for us that we don't do enough thinking for ourselves.
Exactly. And I have a couple of, short poems on that too, because it's just like people. I'm gonna need y'all to think for yourself and not stop letting the media sound bites. Stop chewing.
There you go. That's right. Don't chew on that. Chew on some bubble gum instead.
Facts. Because you research yourself from a reputable source. Just saying.
Yeah, in this case, the source is chocolate. Let me stop.
Or cheesecake.
Oh, there we go. Or chocolate cheesecake. That's right. All the calories.
Yep.
That's right. The COVID freshman 15 will become the COVID freshman 25. It'll be fabulous.
Yeah. I think we all passed that 15.
There we go. Even with past drinking age, you might be able to get a discount on some auto insurance now.
Yeah. Watch, they'll be in the next commercials. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, since this is far from your first rodeo, is there a question that you wish you'd be asked more often?
Let's see. What question would I? Well, people ask me a lot, but I wish people would ask me what is a haiku because sometimes people assume they know what it is. And then it gets a little touchy when I tell them no. And then they're like, oh, yes, it is. I'm like, no. So, what is a haiku? So, haiku is a really short poem and it's 3 lines. The first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and the last line has 5 syllables. So, you have a total of 17 syllables, not words, unless, of course, they're all 1 syllable, which most people don't write that way. So, that's why I say not words. So, 17 syllables. Started in Japan, only on Nature and Flowers. The other countries switched it up. They liked the format, the 575, but they didn't want to write on nature and flowers all the time. So it's really called the Senryu, which is a non-traditional haiku. But since people don't really know Senryu, they know haiku. We just use the term haiku, even though these are non-traditional haikus. So I'll do a couple so you can hear what they are. Again, they're memorized, so there may be a syllable off from my counters. Yeah, okay. It's written correctly. Haiku. Some of you talk about life because you're bored and got no game. Talk less. Haiku. The only reason you still have him is because she don't want him back. Haiku. Dear people, stop looking for the help you want and be the help you need. So this is examples of some.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Spit poet, baby. That's right. Spit poet, baby, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's right. Spring just got even hotter, folks. That's right. Keeping that mic lit, baby, because it just got dropped.
Yes, be trying.
That's right. Because that ain't even 1% of what she can do.
Yeah. I got a lot more of that.
Ah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, with the wonderful life that you're still living out from day to day, your faith and everything else, what helps you to stay creative?
Definitely environment, news, songs, all those things. Something that's happening in the news, I'm like, oh. I hear a song, oh. So it's just, the nature of the beast is when a poet hears something, it's going in a poem. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to write on our story. We write poetry. That's another thing. Oh, what happened? Because I write a lot of parental poems and I'm like, my parents were fantastic, but that doesn't mean everybody's parents were fantastic. So just because a poet goes on a, rant about a bad parenting poem, stop thinking, oh my goodness, what happened to nothing? If if the poet doesn't say, this is about me, it's not about them. Or maybe they don't want you to know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I kind of blame that on the classic. What
Yeah,
happened to my friend and everything like that, and folks be trying to say it's them, but sometimes it actually is that friend, and they're trying to protect their
exactly. Maybe that friend doesn't want me to make an announcement. How about that? Yeah.
Exactly. It's like it's kind of fun. It's like sometimes you have to put a disclaimer for almost everything now.
Yes, exactly. It's like, okay, I'm doing a poem. It's not about me. It's not. So yeah, so a lot of poets just don't do that. They just say what they're gonna say, and let you think what you're gonna think. But just so you know, in general, we don't just write about our own pain or story or life or.
Heck yeah, you can say that again because especially in your realm of expertise, not only you're creating the words and you're writing them down, you're also performing them too. So it has to be able to at least capture the hearts of those that hear the message.
Exactly the point. Exactly.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's right. So, any advice for the aspiring spoken word artists out there to really embrace their dreams and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. If you're new and you say, well, today's my first day, I'm thinking about poetry, I don't know where to start. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to be a little odd. I'm going to tell you, don't listen to any poetry. What? Listen to no one's poetry. Because what happens is you listen to their poetry or of a certain style of poetry, and then you start repeating that poetry style. Don't even realize you're doing it because that's the style you've been exposed to or you've listened to. So that's why I say don't listen to anybody. or don't read anybody's poetry at that point. Develop who you are first. Practice who you're going to be. What's that? Well, how do I practice? You literally just get in front of a mirror and you just start your poem. And whatever comes out is who you are. That's how you know who you're being authentically you. Because if not, if you've heard so-and-so so much, you're going to start to sound like them. That's why you go to a poet, like for those who've been to poetry events, you're like, how come everybody sounds the same? Because everybody listened to so-and-so when they were writing, and now everybody has that same cadence. Cadence is what we call the sound. Da 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 da, high low, da 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 da, high note, da 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 da, low, da 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 da, high note. And you don't even realize you're hearing it until like the fifth poet comes up and you're like, wait, let me, wait, I know what's gonna happen. Even though if it's a different subject, it's still the same, flow. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da da da, low. So you don't even, So that's why I tell the young poets, don't listen to anybody. For the people who have been into poetry a little bit, and you say, well, how do I get to the next level? What do I do? I don't know. Everybody tells me something different. Follow your path. Follow your path. Follow your path. Poets are on different paths. There's no one way to go. There's no one way to do it. There's no one right way. So you may go this way and say, but no one's ever done it. Doesn't mean they shouldn't have. I'm sure when I cannot think of his name. He won America's Got Talent. They probably like, a spoken word poet, America's, stop, go sit down. That's not gonna work. Did he won? Oh, America's not, wait, hold on. The rest of the poets are like, what? So, but initially probably people were like, nah, that's a waste of time. That's for singers and people who juggle. And, those are the ones who really were winning it. So if you're trying to go to the next level, do what's natural to you. Don't try to copy someone else's blueprint, because you doing that will take you off your authentic path and take you someplace where you're not even supposed to go.
There we go. There we go. Hope some folks getting these nuggets right here. That's right. From a true expert, a genuine expert, baby. This is leather right here. This ain't no pleather, baby. That's right. This is the genuine article right here, indeed. That's right. Follow your own path, indeed. And in the beginning, don't be listening to everybody. And heck, it reminds me in that good old ancient book where it says, "Don't eat off everybody's tables."
Exactly. Find out who cooks stuff, people. Just saying, save yourself some headache.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Save yourself some headache. So has there ever been a time like maybe I guess outside of maybe cafes and other places where you perform spoken poetry, is there any other times where you think you may have, after a few years of doing your own work, that you may have listened to other people's work?
Oh yeah, definitely. After a few years and I felt comfortable in who I was and how I was going to perform, I definitely started listening to other people's work. And there's so many beautiful, fantastic poets out there that I really enjoy. So yes, a lot of them are local poets, but there is a plethora of poets, especially in the DMV, a lot of champions down here. So I enjoy poetry. I enjoy the individual pieces, the group pieces. So, yes, after you've established who you are and you like you, by all means, dive into the scene, because there's so many open mics online. There's starting to be some opening up in person, outdoors. So there's a lot out there. Just, online, I performed in Africa, and I think the other one is in Ireland. So you can do a lot and broaden your poetry family now. This is really a good time to broaden your family.
Amen to that. That's probably one of the gifts of this whole pandemic. You get to broaden your family. It's
Yes.
like, hey, blood may be thicker than water, but I don't know. Like this Zoom thing, this is
Yes.
working out pretty good right now.
Exactly. Exactly. Zoom is a connection for us all.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't have to do no frequent fly miles. I had to pay for the plane ticket.
Exactly. It's just, the only problem is my stewardess, me. She is so slow. Like my drink is getting low now. Where is she? She's talking. Yeah, she's not helpful.
Oh man. Well, coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive. And that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2021, with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
Stop playing it safe. Go out there, try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But go out there and just try things. Don't be so safe and be like, well, nah, 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 nah. You know how we get, I'm just going to do it the safe way. Safe is boring. Okay? The people who have made it didn't do it necessarily the easy way. The LeBrons, you know, anybody who has been successful, they made their own path. And they may not have started off the easiest way or the richest way or with the most money, but they still find a way to make their niche theirs. And they worked hard at it every day. So whatever you decide, work hard at it every day. For me, it would be stepping outside of my comfort zone more at that time. Now, no problem doing it. Step right out. Well, I don't know. Well, all I can get is a no. Then I gotta shoot me so I can take a no. It's just gonna be two-letter word. No. Okay. On to the next one.
Ah, there we go. Solid gold flow and D. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's right. Don't be afraid. Get out there. Step on out. Put on your
Yes.
stilettos if you have to. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Rock the heels. Rock the Timberlands. Do something.
That's right.
Yeah. Put on some bear claws on your feet. Go out there barefooted. Let me stop.
Only for summer. Well, then not too hot because you ever been on the beach and you stepped on the sand and you're like,
There you go. Throw on some Ugg boots if you have to.
exactly. Lisa flip flop.
There you go. And just don't flop.
The sand is unforgiving.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, especially the sandcastles.
Yeah, you're gonna get beat up.
Oh my goodness. Well, for those who've enjoyed this indestructible sand castle of some of the content you've been delivering tonight and want to dive into more of it via your books and all the wonderful stuff you're doing, what's the best way for folks to reach out to the kind Kim herself?
All righty. I have several books out. My latest book is called My Poetry is the Beauty You Overlook. It has 10 poems, 10 Kimisms, which are my sayings. I had to call them something. And 100 haiku. And that one's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, all the places online books are sold.
Well, there you have it, folks. Check out those Kimisms in her latest book and buy some of the past books. Buy all of them. Tell your friends about it. Tell the penguins
Yes.
about it. Tell the
Get a
camels
mug,
about it.
get a mug, get a t-shirt, get a mouse pad, get a journal. I have them all.
See, there you go. She even got journals for you. So that way,
That's right.
yep, you read her poetry, you'd be like, my goodness, I need to write some of my own. I need to write a poem about this fridge for some reason. And she probably ain't even talking about a fridge.
For that stuff, you can go to kimbmiller.com. Yes, exactly. I'll have you writing. See there? Journaling, writing, poeting, whatever you need. I got you.
Go, she got you, fam. That's right. She got you, homie. That's right. That's right. She got you. That's right.
Yes.
And live. That's right. With all the pens. That's right.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I'm a pencil woman, but yeah.
There we go. That's right. I see what you did there. With
Yeah.
all the pens and the C's. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. With all the L's, aka the magical love of poetry. That's right.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Well, Benny, closing thoughts before we close up shop.
Yeah, I like to end with a couple of haikus. I'm trying to figure out which ones I want to do. You have a particular subject you have in mind?
Let's see. Particular subject.
Yes.
Anything about beach balls?
No, unfortunately. I have one on, let's see, haiku. We are grains of sand on God's beach, acting like we are the ocean. Any other subject?
That was powerful. God's beach right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Heck, faith. That's a
Yeah.
better subject.
Let's see. Faith, faith. I got a funny one. Okay. Haiku. So you think you can be God when you can't even be you? Reach lower. And let's see. Another one. Haiku. Even Jesus was betrayed by one of his boys. So who's your Judas? Let's see. Haiku. God don't like ugly, but you ain't pretty. So why you so happy? Let's see, let's see. Haiku. Her name ain't Jesus. She can't quench your thirst. You got peace and peace mixed up.
How's it going, you super special, awesome human? Since you made it to the end of this episode, it looks like you really enjoyed yourself. Since you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with at least 3 people in your network and tell them what you really liked about this episode.